What's up, everybody? Welcome to some Unesh, Criosphinx Sovereign. I don't know why I'm saying it like that, but it's a lot of fun. Ooh, playing against Oketra. Hey, I like Oketra. She's a lot of fun. Yeah, as far as opening hand goes, we've got 4 lands. We have Opt, a little bit of digging. Yeah, we'll keep on this one. Got a little late game Elder Deep Fiend action. Sounds like a plan to me. Let's get Unesh pop back up. We do not need you to disappear, Unesh. Okay, let's go and get the island down. Let's go and go. Well, we can wait to go for Opt on our opponent's turn. You know, we don't really, well, if we're going to go for that, why not? We'll just go and Opt right now. That way, if our opponent has a Mana Tithe, that would be a bummer to lose out on Opt. So let's go ahead and go scry 1 and then draw a card, and then we can kind of kick it over. And that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think we're going to put that on top. We don't really have any artifacts. We're going to make sure we're going to be online to get down Unesh. So I think we're okay with it at this point right now. And then we're going to pass it over to our opponent. So we are playing Unesh, Criosphinx Sovereign. He has flying. Whenever he deals, not whenever he deals damage. Sphinx spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. Then, whenever Unesh or another Sphinx, actually I'll cover that in a second. Alright, draw into the Criosphinx. Let's go and get the island down. Anything else? Now we're going to go and pass the turn. So, whenever Unesh or another Sphinx you control enters the battlefield under your control, Factor Fiction. Reveal the top 4 cards of your library, and then just having too much fun with that Factor Fiction thing. Yeah, Factor Fiction, separate them. Your opponent's going to separate them in 2 piles. Put 1 pile into your hand, the other pile into your graveyard. Yeah, I keep doing the, when I go Factor Fiction, like I'm holding my hand up like Ace Attorney. It's that Game Boy game where they would hold their hand up and do, it'd be like objection. I don't know why I think of Factor Fiction. I always think of that. Anything else we need to go for? Now let's just go ahead and pass the turn. We have 5 total mana. We're paying the iron price to get down to Unesh right now. We don't have really any artifacts, but we kind of make it work. Playing against Oketra, the box breaker of all kitty cat boxes. Double strike, indestructible. Can't attack or block unless you control at least 3 other creatures. Then for 4 mana, create a 1/1 white warrior creature token with vigilance. I'm really bummed that I played. If you missed it, I played Oketra for MTGOTraders. So if you want to go back, head over to the playlist section, check it out. If you want to check out some Oketra, but yeah, I was really bummed that the create a token was not a cat token. I felt that was a really big missed opportunity. I don't know. You know, maybe it makes more sense flavor-wise to have the human. All right, let's go ahead and yeah, I guess we'll just go ahead and get the island down. Actually, let's go and get the Lonely Sand, but nothing we can do for 4. We'll be online for Swan Song. We're just going to go ahead and play it, and then we'll slowly just keep making our land drops and slowly build our way to our national Unesh. Probably not going to cast Criosphinx. We could cast that down and then go for a little bit of, we could get a little bit of a clock going. Then we have another Sphinx to kind of show for it. Yeah, we may end up getting down Criosphinx next turn. Then kind of rocking and rolling from there. Shram's Expertise. All right, get some nice little servo tokens. Be 3 little things on the battlefield, and then they'll get in a spot to really be able to go down on Oketra. Ooh, Monastery Mentor. Got it. Cast her free off that. Pretty good. And then let's see. We still have Elder Deep Fiend to kind of get into some shenanigans. Let's go ahead and let's go for the island. Let's get down Criosphinx. Get that down, and then next turn we'll be online for Unesh, get those Factor Fictions rolling, and then we get in the spot where we'll be online for Elder Deep Fiend. We can really tap our opponents down. The good thing about our, our opponents' creatures out there is there are a lot of ground creatures. Oketra doesn't have reach, so if we can simply just get these, get our Sphinxes kind of coming across, and then we get in a spot where we can really kind of amplify that out. And we still have Swan Song. Probably going to hold that up for some sort of any spot removal that we get on Unesh, just because having Unesh on the battlefield is really important to generating the card value. We're not running a lot of card draw in the deck just because we're running a lot of artifacts and a lot of Sphinxes. So pretty much the card advantage that we're going to generate from this deck is going to be from getting Unesh down and then just getting some nice little value off stuff like Criosphinx. Think about it. It's 3 mana, then Factor Fiction, you have a 4/4 body. Okay, opponent's going for an enchantment, Marshal's Anthem, and it looks like it was kicked, I think 2 times, or 1 time? Let's see. No, excuse me, it's 4 mana. It was just simply cast. Alright, they're going to get themselves a nice little monk token on the battlefield. Man, I never even thought about using Monastery Mentor for Oketra. It's pretty good for the deck. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so our opponent gets down the Marshal's Anthem, return up to X target creature card from graveyard. Okay, yeah, there's no creature cards in the graveyard. So they do have the servo tokens coming across for 6. They do have a Monastery Mentor coming in for 4. They're going to swing in, and probably, I think I'm okay with trading on this one. Yeah, I'll trade on that. Keep those tokens off the battlefield. I'm not sure what we could be potentially playing it. Okay, yeah, I'll take that trade. All right, take care of the Sphinx, and then next turn we're looking at going for. We could hold up Unesh. Okay, double island. Let's go and get the island down. They have 4 cards in hand. Do we want to hold up Swan Song for that? Next turn we have 8 coming across. Yeah, let's go and Unesh. If they have removal, they've got it. We'll get the Factor Fiction going. And then next turn we have 2 Sphinxes in the hand to kind of go for that. And then if any sort of board wipe to follow up, we'll have the Swan Song for that. Okay. If this resolves, we'll go for Unesh. Okay, we're going to get the Factor Fiction rocking and rolling. See if we get on top. So there's Prognostic Sphinx and Glyph Keeper. See how they split it up. More than likely they'll do island for each one. Now, which one do we want? I think we want the Glyph Keeper. We're going to choose that one. You know, we could have gotten into spots where we could embalm it out of the graveyard, but simply having this ability on the battlefield, we're able to cast it just for 3 mana, and then it's going to be able to counter, target spell or ability, which will really allow us to make sure that we keep that threat on the battlefield. And we still have Elder Deep Fiend to kind of... That's the good thing about Elder Deep Fiend in this deck. It's such a good utility card, is that we're running all these high-costed Sphinxes card, but at the same time we have the Emerge cost on the Elder Deep Fiend that usually we can simply cast Elder Deep Fiend for 2 mana, kind of tap our opponent's lands down, or simply tap down their opponents or the commanders. Like if we had if we needed to go for Sphinx right now, we could tap down their creatures and make sure they don't get into spots where they go for a nice little alpha swing, or simply tap down Oketra. Alright, Stoneforge Mystic. See if they're going to search up with this one. They do have the Trailblazers boots out there. Quick Creature has non-basic land walk, so we do have one non-basic with the Lonely Sandbar, so they'll be able to swing in with that. Get that rocket and rolling. Let's see what they're going to search up for as far as the... They have to reveal off the Stoneforge. Yeah, reveal it. Alright, Stoneforge Mystic. Let's see what they're getting down. Pop up the reveal zone. I'm trying to think, something like sort of, I guess Fire and Ice would be an option to kind of get that out, protection from blue. That'll definitely kind of keep us off. Or simply just something like value. Alright, sort of Body and Mind. Protection from green and blue, and then when it does combat damage to a player, create a wolf token, and then puts the top 10 cards of the library into the graveyard. Okay, I got the Prowess token going. We're still able to stop the monk from swinging in, though, because we do have a 4/4 body, and they're completely tapped out. Now, as far as... I'm trying to think. We want to hold up Elder Deep Fiend for 2 mana. We can get the Glyph Keeper down. We'll see. Yeah, let's pass it over turn. Let's see what we got rocking and rolling. Yeah, if they do want to swing in with all the servo tokens, we could definitely chump block, at least take care of one of them, and then kind of reduce that only down to about 4 damage. Okay, no swings. I'll take that. And it almost kind of puts us in a spot where we're almost kind of going to be racing on this one. Let's go and get down the Glyph Keeper. It's going to be 2 mana, 3 mana. Get a nice little Factor Fiction going. And they did cast that, so I'm going to cross the sort of Body and Mind off. Pongify and High Tide. Okay, beautiful. I love Pongify. We're probably going to take Pongify on this one. Or High Tide. We can cast High Tide. This is going to be 2, 4, 6 mana. We'll see how they want to split it up. Either way, this is a beautiful hand. We have the Shrine, which we're already at 4 Devotion as far as Blue Devotion goes. And then whatever they try to equip the sort of Body and Mind to, we can go for the Pongify in response to that and give themselves a nice little token. And we're still online for the, Elder Deep Fiend if we want to go for that. Oh, yeah, I'll take that. Pongify and Shrine. I'll take that all day. All right, I'm going to grab that. Let's go ahead and... So if we're going to go for Elder Deep Fiend, we can tap down some creatures. We can Pongify whatever they're going to go for. The Sphinx we're going to cost right now is going to cost 5 total mana. We only have 4 up right now. Let's go ahead and swing in with Unesh. Nothing has reach right now. Let's go and swing in for 4. And yeah, let's go and swing in for 4. And then whatever they go for the Sword of Body and Mind, that's going to be 2 total mana. We can go for the Pongify in response, and then give themselves a little 3/3 token. And then we'll see if we need to go for anything else. Now we're going to go and pass the turn. Alright, so next turn we're going to be able to get Shrine down. If we go for Shrine, what we can do is we can sequence it to where we get a few more of these Sphinxes out there, and then we can really generate some extra mana to kind of get these on the battlefield, and hopefully get into spots where we can kind of close it out. We've got 9 points of damage coming across next turn. We're at 4 total commander damage. That's going to put them down to 15. Let's go and put the, I think at this point, we'll just go and put the island into the graveyard. Okay, and then we probably should have waited for our Factor Fiction to resolve before we just Windmill Slam that island down. So that would have been a better line of play, because then we would have been in line for the Shrine, and we could have got into a little bit extra mana off that. All right, our opponent's got a whole assortment of. I love this plains right here. I was like, oh man, because I love when people build monocolor decks and they pick out an old school basic. It always looks real clean and crisp. I always appreciate that. All right, getting down to Oketra, and then but yeah. But we've got a whole assortment of planes. Hey man, whatever makes you happy. And they are off as far as adding devotion, unless they make an extra land. I think, did they make the land drop for the turn? Yeah, they did make the land drop for the turn. All right, they're gonna go for that monk token. Let's go ahead and go for the. We'll go for Pongify. That way we can get rid of that prowess, and then basically they just kind of wasted their mana as far as equipping that sort of body and mind on there. And then plus the Oketra is going to have double strike. I mean indestructible, so it really wouldn't have mattered if we went for Pongify on that. All right. Nice little 4/4 ape token out there. Pretty cool. But this does put us into a spot where next turn we're probably going to go for Elder Deep Fiend to keep them tapped down. And that'll put us in a spot where we can swing in next turn and hopefully kind of go for lethal after that. Let's see if they want to swing in at the end of the server tokens. Okay, no swings. Ooh. Commandeer. Exile 2 cards, get control target non-creature spell. We definitely have that online. Let's go and get the Shrine down. We have 2 devotion. Let's go and both of our Sphinxes cost 7, so let's go ahead and go for. I guess on this one, we'll get an extra Factor Fiction off that. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana, and we'll still have just enough for the. Well, if we go for that, that's going to add some extra devotion to that, and then we'll have Elder Deep Fiend next turn. We're going to sacrifice something. We're going to have 14 coming across. This time we're going to swing across for 9. We'll have Elder Deep Fiend coming across. Is that what we're going to go for? So we swing in for 9 right now. That's going to be. Puts them down to 17. And then next turn. Yeah, let's go and get some. Let's get some Sphinxes going. Yeah, let's go for that. What we can do is just get some nice little value on the battlefield. Cost 1 more. We're going to get Factor Fiction for that, and we'll also, basically we're going to get a Factor Fiction for 5, and then we'll get a Factor Fiction from Unesh, and then we can swing in for that. So let's get the Sphinx for 5 first. Let's get that going. See how they want to divvy it up, and then that puts us in a spot where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 devotion, so we can actually go for Sphinx of the Final Word if we want to. And then our opponent, not our opponent, as far as the split goes, we do have Temple of the False God, Caged Sun, and then Urza's Incubator. So depending on how they split it up, more than likely, yeah, we're going to go for pile 2 on that one. I'll take that. Goes into the hand, get another Factor Fiction off Unesh. The fun thing about Unesh is sometimes, Cryptic Command. Okay, that kind of changes it. So right now we have 14 coming across. That's going to be 28. If we simply just go take the Cryptic Command, and we'll be online to tap down all the creatures. Yeah, I like that. Let's go and choose pile 1. That's going to go into the hand. Actually, excuse me, I kind of did the math wrong on that. That's just going to be 9 coming across. Let's go and swing in. Coming in hot. I love the whole motley crew we got over there. We got a cat god. We got 3 servo tokens. We got a little ape monkey over there. Love it. Okay, let's go and swing in for 9. It's going to put our opponent down to 17. I was thinking this had a haste, and we had a 2-turn clock, but we don't. All right, so right now, so if we go Cryptic Command, tap them down, then next turn we're going to have 14 coming across, which is going to be 3 away. Then we'll also get into spots where we can Elder Deep Fiend and really kind of keep them from doing anything. Yeah, let's just hold up the Cryptic Command. I'm okay with that at this point. We can either kind of return something to their hand if they go for the Sword of Body and Mind, or we can simply just tap them down, or go for a Elder Deep Fiend to kind of tap down some of their creatures. And then, yeah, I kind of like that. Okay, I like where we're going now. Yep. Let's go to get the, because we can tap them down with the, yeah, we can Elder Deep Fiend, tap down a few creatures, and then still be online for Cryptic Command, because that'll be 6 total mana. All right, let's go and get rid of the, I think at this point we're just going to get rid of the island, and then the Urza's Incubator. That way we're still in line for Commandeer. We can go for that exile, get control target non-creature spell. We choose new targets for it. And then we still have the Cryptic Command to go for to kind of bounce something back to the hand, and then Elder Deep Fiend to kind of tap down some creatures in response to like a Sword of Body and Mind activation or something like that. Okay, Smuggler's Copter. So we probably do need to go ahead and get down Elder Deep Fiend. What we can do is tap down the creatures, kind of let them do whatever they want to do right now as far as mana generating. But yeah, if we end up going Elder Deep Fiend and the Cryptic Command, we should be, hopefully should be able to kind of close it out, because they'll have all their creatures tapped out, and Elder Deep Fiend will come across on the ground. Okay, in response to that, let's go ahead and go. Let's go Devotion Blue. It's going to be 6 total mana. Let's go ahead and go tap all creatures. Tap all creatures your opponent's controlled, and then return target permanent to its owner's hand. Yeah. There we go. Return target permanent to its owner's hand. Tap all creatures your opponent's controlled. There we go. Let's go and return the Smuggler's Copter. And then tap all creatures. It's going to be one more. So it's going to tap down all the creatures. It's going to allow us to at least swing in the air. We've got 14 coming across. If we still use the Elder Deep Fiend to sacrifice something, that's going to be 5. And that'll still be 14 next turn. But we don't have haste right now. So what we may end up doing is just kind of holding on to, you know, if they do end up swinging across for Oketra, do we want an Elder Deep Fiend right now? No, we'll hold on to it. Sorry, I kind of I forgot about the Elder Deep Fiend that we're going to have to sacrifice one of our creatures. I kind of misjudged on that one. So we'll have Elder Deep Fiend next turn to kind of tap down some of their creatures and then kind of rock and roll from there. Okay, Imprison in the Moon. Let's go ahead and let's get the Temple of the False God down. Let's go ahead and let's kind of chain some stuff together. Let's go for Sphinx of the Final Word. It's going to be 3 total mana. 2 off the Temple of the False God. That we can add to our devotion, and maybe we can draw into Lightning Greaves and kind of shift it around and go for that. Alright, we have Unesh coming down. We've got the Factor Fiction. Factor Fiction, Counterspell, and Stubborn Denial. See how they want to see it. I think we'll just go and take the Counterspell at this point, depending on how they want to sequence it out. Yeah, we'll go and choose pile 1 on this one. Goes into the hand. Let's go ahead and during the upkeep we can tack down some of their creatures. Let's go and swing in for 14 right now. And as far as devotion goes, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we have 8 devotion. Let's go and swing in for 14. It's going to put them down to 3. And then next turn, we're going to be able to tap down 4 permanents, so we can simply just go for their, they don't have anything with reach right now. We can sacrifice the Sphinx if we need to. We'll be online for Counterspell. We'll also have a Commandeer in the hand too to kind of get rid of something. Puts them down to 3. Anything else we want to go for? They will have the Oketra online, protection from blue and green, so they're going to be able to swing in for 16. I mean for 12, which is only going to be 12 total commander damage, and then we'll be online for Counterspell. Yeah, I like that. We're just going to go and pass the turn. We'll leave the Shrine up as far as devotion mana goes, and we have a whole assortment of kind of spells to kind of rally from there. So if they have something like you know, Wrath of God to kind of destroy all the creatures. We do have Swan Song. We also have Counterspell, and then just a whole bunch of stuff kind of go from there. Then if they get any sort of creature out there, we do have Imprison in the Moon to kind of help us kind of close it out. So you can definitely kind of see where if you're going for Unesh, simply getting all these Sphinxes on the battlefield really gives you a nice clock in the air to kind of help you close the game out. And at the same time, you just see how quickly we churn through our deck. You know, our opponent's sitting at 82 cards. We're sitting at 62 cards. Lovely. All right, Trailblazers Boots. It's going to have non-basic land walk. We're okay with that. It's not really going to grant any sort of bonuses or anything like that. That's okay. And then we'll see what else they're going to go for. But yeah, you know, with the Shrine, we have that devotion online, so we can pretty much stop whatever they're going to go for. And then with them sitting at 3 life, we're going to be able to push past pretty much anything that they're going to be able to get on the battlefield. Okay, see what they're tapping out for. It's going to be 4 total mana. You know, if they're going for another sort of Voltron-style piece, okay, Crusader, split second, oh, that's split second. Not going to be able to do anything with that. Okay, other white creatures get +1/+1. So that's going to be a 7. That's going to be 14 total commander damage coming across. And that does not grant lifelink. So I think we're going to be able to kind of close this one out. Anything we want to do as far as this turn goes, tapping down any sort of creatures, that's going to be 14. That's going to be 17. Yeah, let's just go ahead and Elder Deep Fiend, kind of just get some stuff rocking and rolling. Let's go ahead and, while we have the mana up, do we want to go for anything? No, let's go ahead and just go for an Elder Deep Fiend Emerge off this one. Sorry, I'm trying to click up. There we go. Sack a creature. At this point, we'll just go ahead and sacrifice the, I guess it didn't really matter. We'll sacrifice the Sphinx of the Final Word. We'll pay 2 blue on this one. Let's go and tap down the Stoneforge Mystic. Let's tap down the Ape, and then the 2 Servo tokens. And then we'll go and tap down the Plains. Okay, opponent scoops it up. Had Elder Deep Fiend on the stack. We had the Glyph Keeper coming in the air next turn. But yeah, this is a pretty sweet little Oketra build. A nice little mix of kind of Voltron and just value creatures out there. But yeah, you can see where simply going Unesh, when we get those factor fictions, we start chaining those together. We dug about 20 cards deeper from our opponent, and yeah, when you're just digging the card advantage with these Sphinxes on the battlefield, man, it's just really hard to kind of stop that that nice little value from coming in. So I might have been able to kind of sequence that a little bit differently. You know, in my head I thought we had enough as far as combat damage goes with the Elder Deep Fiend, but then I forgot to factor in the fact that we had to emerge on a creature to get that Elder Deep Fiend kind of tapped down coming across. But we close it out. I will take it. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.